I'm Avril and this is Aaron. We're going to just briefly introduce ourselves and tell you what we're doing here. So my name's Avril Duck and I am a theatre maker and a teacher, and I am here with Aaron working on True Friends. I'll cast it over to you.
Hello, my name is Aaron Lee and I am a playwright. I have written a play called True Friends.
All right. And so could you tell us, first of all, a little bit more about yourself? So you're a playwright. What's special about you?
I was born on the 20th of December, 1993, and I was born with retinopathy.
What's that?
I am a eye sight condition, but basically with my right eye that doesn't work, but the left eye does work.
Yeah, and it's it's a good reason for asking that question, because that's going to come into the discussion later on when we discuss accessibility and so forth. All right. So True Friends, what is it now, Aaron? What do you think True Friends is right now? How would you describe it?
It is about friendship.
Yeah, it is, because
and following your dreams.
Yes, it is. and at the moment, it's not in production yet, is it?
No.
But we've done some work on it. It's a full-length play, right?
Yes.
Did you always know that it was going to be a full-length play when you started writing it?
I thought I wasn't going to turn it into a play. I thought I was going to turn it into a movie.
Is that when you started it, you thought it was going to be a movie?
Yeah.
Hey. And is it fully finished yet, Aaron? Do you think?
No, not yet. But I'd like to. But once I done the stage plays, I'd like to turn it into a movie and have it filmed and go to Adelaide and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's in its full length, and the actual shape of the story is complete, right?
Yes.
My job in this is I'm going to go back and tweak things like full stops, like grammar.
Okay.
I mean, it's all grammatically correct. Just there's an absence of full stops in some places. So that's my job. I'll do the full stops.
I don't see why not.
and so that's the sort of phase it's in now, in its written phase, and just needs some dusting off with the full stop situation.
Yes.
But we haven't put it on yet, have we?
No. But we did do a creative development version of the play, and we basically did a performance of it at the ARC Community Hub.
Yeah, that's right. And that was over 6 weeks.
Yes.
We read the play, then we broke it down. These are with community actors from Tropical Arts.
Yes.
And we read through it. We broke it down. We analysed it. We made sure that, is this a play? Is this the structure of a play? And certainly we were able to demonstrate the structure of it very clearly, and everyone was as enthusiastic as I was pretty much about going forward with it.
Yes.
And then, you and I subsequently have been trying to develop things by writing grants and stuff. And then we didn't get a grant. Were you okay about that, Aaron? Did you have shed a tear or have a moment of anger or upset?
I was basically looking forward to getting the grant, but it didn't work out for me.
Well, but were you really upset or did it just kind of wash over you?
It just kind of washed over.
And I think that was because we prepped it, didn't we? We were like, okay, we could not get this grant. That's quite possible. So what is our alternative plan B situation? We're always in the plan B. What's next, aren't we?
Yes.
So about today.
We got to go on a tour to the Con Theatre to meet Erica and see the theatre, but I can't climb up onto the ladders to get into the bio box because of my bad eyesight.
Because that's another. Yeah, sorry, I broke in there. But that's another thing about you. You're not just a writer, but you've done acting and you like doing the technical side of theatre as well.
Yeah.
So you being in the bio box is part of the buzz, right?
Yes.
And so I think is it called the Conservatorium Theatre? The Innisfail Conservatorium, yes, and it's a theatre.
Yeah.
It's a community theatre run by a community theatre group, I think. So having a look at community theatres, you always find a very interesting level of access, right? So was the stage accessible?
Yes, you have to climb up a few stairs and there's also a wheelchair ramp at the side of the right stage where you can put a wheelchair through.
Yeah, it still needs some accommodations, but it would work, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say thank you to Erica for letting us do that.
Thanks, Erica from the Con.
Yeah.
And but then the bio box, as Aaron said, it was right up a ladder. So you would have to walk up a ladder, and ladders are not easy for you.
No, I don't want to basically misjudge a step or else that's it. I would have to go to hospital if I basically fall down.
Yeah, I like the sound effect though. Can you do it again?
Or if I do basically misjudge a step, that's it. I would fall down and I'll have to go to hospital.
Yeah, well, I'm not laughing at you going to hospital. I'm laughing at the sound effect.
Okay.
So today's tour was started at the Con and we did that with Erica.
Yes.
Thank you, Erica. And it's just so nice. I wish Tropical Arts had a theatre space. I wish we had a theatre space. But anyway, that's another set aside. And their stage was great. It didn't have a crossover, so you couldn't walk around. You could actually. No, you had to go through doors and cross over. It's a bit like the CPAC Theatre. But then where did we go? We went off to the
Innisfail Shire Hall.
Oh, man, that's a beautiful place. Yeah, did you find it beautiful? I loved it.
I enjoyed the big hall.
Yeah, right.
Big ass.
It was so big. It's massive. It's just like this massively long auditorium with polished wooden floorboards and archways and curtains. It's gorgeous.
So I'd like to say thank you to Kath for letting us see the hall.
Yeah, and both Erica and Kath were so enthusiastic about the project. Now, accessibility talk again. So going onto the stage at the Shire Hall was not really good for wheelchairs, right?
No.
But you managed to get up there, no worries?
Yes.
Okay, because it has handrails. So steps up, but no wheelchairs. But then accessibility for the bio box. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
In the actual Con Theatre or the
Shire Hall.
If we can if we can if we can have one long table with sound and lighting, that would be great. I'd like to.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pop-up, isn't
yes,
it?
a pop-up. Can we have one long table, please?
Yes, and it's like a pop-up because the you plug in on the floor.
Yes,
Like she lifted up these little hatches, yes, and then you can plug in your equipment from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was completely accessible then because it was on the floor.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. So it's interesting, these different layers of accessibility, what's accessible, what's not accessible. Yeah, so this is going into now to the dream future of True Friends. So do you see either of those spaces as better than the other, or, could you see the show being on either of those stages?
I could basically see the show at the Herberton Shire Hall, but I'd like to have the chairs out the. Yes,
I'll just hold you there for a second. You did say the Herberton Shire Hall, and I think you just got into my head then, because that's where I grew up.
The
Innisfail. No, don't worry, Aaron. That's part of the fun.
Let's see.
This is our conversation.
Let's see the Innisfail Shire Hall.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to have the show at the Innisfail Shire Hall for the second show at the Con Theatre. Can we please have a big chemist setting with aisles, please, at the Con Theatre?
Yeah, so the chemist setting, for those who are not in the know about True Friends, is where the first half of the show kind of happens. It's based around this chemist shop. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Called
Chemland.
Yeah. And they're definitely, but do you think it would be strange to have the show in two places in one small town?
No, but I'd like to try.
Yeah.
It.
I agree. And what other dream future do we have going on for True Friends? So we've got this beautiful set that we're imagining, which has got a chemist shop in it. And we've got two venues in the one small town.
Yeah.
What else we got going on for future dreams?
Let's see, take it regional. I want to go all around Australia and then, of course, turn it into a film.
Can you imagine all of the community theatres we could go and see if we took this regional tour around Australia?
Yes, I want to go all around Australia. I would like to, and then try and turn it into a movie, have a movie production company, make a movie version.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what about the actors? If we do go on this big tour all around Australia, I don't want to stress out all the original cast. I'll have to basically have I'd like to have replacement cast so I don't stress out all the original cast.
I love that idea, and you know what? It kind of brings me into my dream focus, which is like, so if we go to regional Australia, we could have a program that puts together all of the, so we have those, if we have three professional actors who travel with the show.
Yes.
And then the rest of them are built in the place. So they spend like 2 weeks or something developing that community cast for the show. And so it's a program as well as a show.
Yeah.
And then the community cast is from the local town.
Yeah. What about basically backup actors so the main professional actors can have their breaks and that? I don't want to stress them out.
Good idea.
I want to have backup actors and more backup.
Yes, I know, right? I like the way that you think, you go like, just make sure it's cool for people. Don't stress people out. I like that a lot. Yeah, because I mean, and I think that's one of the themes that we really are exploring in True Friends is with your writing. You know, you're about these two friends who support each other and support each other on that very emotional level too. Like if you're stressed out, how does somebody say, calm down, without, you know, in the right way?
Yes.
And we see that all through True Friends, where the friends are supporting each other in that way. Someone gets stressed out, the other one's like, no, it's cool, it's chill, let's do this, just relax, take some deep breaths.
Yes.
And yeah, it's about ambition too, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think the ambition that those, who holds the ambition? Whose idea is it? I don't want to, no, we can't give too many spoilers away, can we? Aaron?
Yeah.
Do you reckon we should? I don't want to spoil it.
No.
Sorry, I was going to go into the plot, but I'm just going to not go into the plot.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, basically talking about supports and systems, we support each other in this project, don't we?
Yes.
What do you reckon my job is to support?
Artistic director,
Mm-hmm. And what do you reckon your job is?
playwright, and I'm an actor.
Yeah, but when you get down into it, like what jobs do you do and what jobs do I do? You, keep the motivation going.
Yes, communicate.
Communication. This is no kidding. It's like, excuse me, we got to get some things happening here. But you give me enough space, but then you don't stop. You're not, I love that. It's like really helpful because otherwise I can get very unmotivated if I'm the one always dragging people to something. But you're in this process,
Yes.
You're the one who's like, come on, let's go.
So I'd like to basically crack the whip and, of course, basically breathe down your neck.
Yeah.
Excuse me, is there a sound effect?
Is there a sound effect that goes along with cracking the whip?
No,
Just
but
wondering, Aaron, if you have a sound effect of the whip.
I
cracking.
have got a.
I think I'd like to basically get a whip sound and animate and basically put that in the post production when we.
Okay, so you do it. You do an action, and I'll sound effect it. Okay, you ready? Two more. That was only one. And me, I'm the driver. Today I'm the driver, and I do all the kind of like special wordy letter writing.
Yes.
And you go online and you grab things and put them in we've got a shared drive folder. And so we build all this stuff together. Aaron's like the kind of techie side of things and I'm like the wordy side of things. So it's a good match.
Yep.
We're getting to be true friends, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aaron.
Okay, thanks, Avril.
Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Arts Nexus Studio. Well, that was hella fun. A play by Aaron Lee.
Yeah, let's just
and
do
this
it.
is my
Do it,
prediction.
do it.
Wait till Melissa gets this ready again.
Why, hello, and welcome to the True Friends podcast, a behind-the-scenes podcast of True Friends, a play by Aaron Lee. I'm Aaron, and this is my co-producer and true friend Avril Duck.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Aaron. I'm Avril. And as we go through the process of producing True Friends, we want to give you an insight into the hard work, effort and passion, the real heart and soul behind this new theatre work.
This podcast is going out to our friends, families, and supporters, theatre people, people with a disability, and just about anyone who wants to hear the best parts of us.
That's Aaron's insatiable curiosity.
And Avril's radical everyoneism. This episode is going to be a unexpected journey.
So we're going to rewind you back. That was a nice one. Can you do that again, please? That's rewinding back to the start of the True Friends journey with a discussion about how Aaron wrote the work,
Yes.
and then up to the sort of first beginnings of responses to it. Is that part of the podcast now? All right.
Yep.
So shall we just keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right. So, Aaron, can you take us back now? And when we think about the start of the True Friends writing frenzy, you were doing a course at ARC Disability Services. And what was that course called?
Story writing program.
That was from the ARC Arts program.
Yes.
What year are we talking?
20-something, I'm not sure.
2017?
2017?
Yeah, somewhere around about there. Could it be early, like 2016?
Yeah, I think so, not sure.
All right, so somewhere 16, 17. And so there's a story writing program.
Yes.
So did you choose that, or was that just going to fit into your day, or did you get really excited about it and go, yeah, I want to write stories?
I got to basically choose the program.
Right, so you could have chosen something else, but you chose story writing.
Yes.
Had you written stories before?
Yes, I have during free time at ARC Disabilities, and of course during the computer programs at ARC Disabilities. This was basically when I was at the ARC Hub. Now it's the ARC Community Hall.
Right. So you were doing just writing stuff, messing around in your own time in different programs.
Yes.
And doing them on your computer?
Yes, on the computers at ARC.
Because handwriting's not a big thrill for you.
No.
No, I like handwriting, but you're not really fond of that stuff.
No.
You got this, you've joined into the writing program.
Yes.
And then who was running that program?
Liana.
Right. So we've talked a fair bit about Liana, Aaron and I, because really she did a lot of inspiring, didn't she? And we're going to further, we're going to try and reach out to Liana where she is nowadays, because she's not in Cairns, is she?
No, she's in Sydney.
Right. So we're going to try and reach out to Liana so she can, I don't know, so we can, I guess, ask her about the beginning of it and also thank her.
Yeah, and of course, yes, I'd like to try and get her on the podcast if that's possible. And I want to say thank you to Liana for inspiring me. I want to get her on the podcast so we can talk about this.
All right. So going back to you're in the writing story writing group.
Yes.
Is everyone doing story writing together, or are you doing it also separately?
Doing it separately. Everyone's doing their own individual project.
Now, how did you come up with this concept of True Friends? Did the name True Friends come immediately to you?
Another support worker who I can't remember the name taught me to think of a title, and she said, "Why don't you call it True Friends?"
And you liked that idea?
Yes.
And how did she must have looked at what you'd written already.
Yes.
And what was it that you wrote first? Did you write a play straight away?
A story first, and then I decided to write a play.
Okay. And so you're right. So you've now got this play. Now I understand that immediately you weren't writing on playwriting software.
Script writing software.
You weren't, yeah. So initially, you didn't have script writing software. So how did you come about to get into the script writing software nature?
Liana helped me to research different types of script writing software.
And so, which one did you choose and why?
Write a duet because it is free and I can basically work from the cloud and
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So you've got this write a duet, and you're pumping into it. So did you just translate your stories from wherever they were and put it straight into write a duet?
No, first, Liana helped me to think of the opening scene and she done acting to basically demonstrate how Sheena acts. And then basically Liana sang to me on how Lucy sings her sentences, and she's saying, "Hello, it's me. I don't believe we met." And then that's how she inspired me, Liana.
Well, so you've got these two characters, Sheena and Lucy.
Yes.
Did you come up with those characters? Did Liana come up with them, or was it a kind of combination of both?
I came up with the
And then she kind of took them on, acted them out for you to then...
Yes.
Okay.
She
Are you laughing?
Yes, she did.
And why are you laughing? Is that like because remembering her, or just happiness?
Happy
Remembering. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So there's these two characters. You've
Yes.
written them. Liana's acting them out. And how much of the script did Liana? Because that script is quite long, right? It goes through a few different phases, doesn't it? It goes
Yes.
through their meeting phase, their kind of getting to know each other phase, then their moving phase.
Yeah.
I don't want to give the script away, so. And then the further development of that, because it
Yeah.
goes and goes and goes. It's really great because it takes you on a full journey.
Yeah.
A bit like your journey,
Yes.
the unexpected journey of this play. So, all right. So you've got all of those. So Liana is putting that together. You're putting it together.
Yes.
How far did Liana go with you in the story?
Let's.
When did you and Liana part company, and did you have to then finish stuff on your own?
Yeah. Sadly, Liana had to move to Sydney so that she can take care of her dad.
Okay.
Yes, and then so after that day on, yes, I had to do everything manually all by myself, and I brainstormed ideas, and sometimes I had writer's block, sometimes I was basically I was on fire some days, and
When you're on fire some days, what does that look like? Does that mean like
constantly writing and that. If you have ideas, you constantly write.
what was it that gave you ideas, and why sometimes were you blocked, and why sometimes did you have ideas? Can you tell, or whether it's going to be a good day for writing or not?
No, it all just comes naturally. It depends what mood I was in, and
What else is going on, I suppose?
Yes.
Have a impact on that.
Yes.
All right. So then, when you finished the play, were you still doing the script writing or the writing program, or had that ended?
Yes, I'm still doing the writing program,
Right.
and
And then you finished it. How long between when you finished it and when you gave it to me?
2021 or 2022.
No, you gave me the script in at the end of 2019.
Yes, 2019.
Yeah. So end of 2019. When did you actually finish it? Or did you just like finish it and immediately give it to me?
Yeah, I finished in 2018, and then I had to Yeah, or something. I can't remember.
You're not really sure of the timeline.
Nah.
Okay. So I get it in 2019. Did you give it to anybody else?
Velvet.
Okay. Did you get a response back from V?
She basically saw it as being a film.
Filmmaker. Well, because it was written as a film script or on Write a Duet, which is a film script writing program.
Script writing software, but here's the thing. I basically selected the stage play template.
Okay. So for you, it was a stage play always in your mind.
Yeah, because I picked the stage play template on Write a Duet.
Cool. And so V saw it as a film, and then you gave it to me, and I was like, okay. So I read it on the holidays, and normally I'm quite a slow reader, but when I got your script, it made me read it fast because it was so interesting and quirky.
Yes.
And then that was 2019, and basically to the beginning of 2020, that's when COVID hit. So that's when things kind of slow right down. Can you do a slow motion sound effect? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So it slowed right down. Things did with COVID, and we did put on a tropical arts production that year. We did the sonnets.
Yes, Shakespeare sonnets and verse.
That's it. You were part of the tech team then.
Yeah, lighting.
Yes, and I had enjoyed the play, and I think we discussed it, but it wasn't until the beginning of 2021 when we did
Inclusive Explorers.
That's it. So Inclusive Explorers was a tropical arts program at the once a week group of community actors and theatre buffs got around together, and we used the opportunity once a week to investigate some of our members' creative output. So the first cab off the rank that we explored was True Friends by Aaron Lee. And there were sometimes 12 of us around a table, sometimes 8. And everybody enjoyed that process. So we first of all read it all from beginning to end. And as we were reading, we would note down the scene, place, who was in it, how long the scene took to read, and various other aspects, so that we could then map out the play and decide, was it a decent structure? Did we have to restructure anything or reframe it? And we discovered in our exploration, our Inclusive Explorers stuff, that it was an excellent shape. Like, it was actually a really beautiful, lots of character arcs. The story kept going up. It didn't have kind of points where it was stopped or stalled. Every scene built on the scene before it was, and surprising stuff. So how did you feel when we were doing that Inclusive Explorers workshop stuff?
I enjoyed it.
Did you expect people to laugh at the play?
No, I wasn't. But now, looking back, I'm enjoying the people laughing.
I think they're laughing because of the sort of unexpected normality of it too. Like, there's this... I was using the example when we were driving up here to the podcast studio.
Yep.
We were talking about one of the ordinary, surprising bits in it, and many people have gone to a chemist shop for a
colonoscopy prep.
Right? If you're going to get a colonoscopy, where do you get the prep from?
Yes, from
you have to get it
chemist. On the shelves, going to serve the customers. Aaron comes into Chemland and gets some prep for his colonoscopy.
That just seems very normal, but at the same time, it's really funny. Like, it's so funny because nobody ever talks about that stuff. That's kind of the don't talk about the colonoscopy prep. And it's got, bum and poo in it and stuff like that. But, it's colonoscopy prep. It's very, very, straight-laced, but you're actually talking. So anyway, that's That's the kind of, I'm not saying all the jokes are colonoscopy prep jokes, but that's the kind of normal but cutely funny for no reason. I don't know why that's funny. Well, I kind of can break it apart, but it's just so cute that it's funny and so normal. I don't know. So anyway, we laughed a lot. And it's not all like colonoscopy preps, but loads of other things. So the responses to the work you were surprised by?
Yeah.
I wasn't that surprised. I knew everybody would like it because once I'd read it and gone, yeah, I think everybody will like this. But I was surprised when we mapped it out how well structured it was, Aaron.
Yes.
So now, Aaron, we're going to cut to a little segment from the Creative Explorers.
Inclusive Explorers.
Inclusive Explorers, and it's a creative development of True Friends.
Yes.
And this was our presentation at the end of 6 weeks. The scene is Chemland Night Party.
Yes.
That's a kind of explosion of actors. Is that the way it's going to... Is that the way you visualised it on stage?
No, 2 people, Sheena and Lucy.
But we chose to use all the actors because it's very inclusive and it gave us the sense of fun that we wanted.
Yes.
Have a look at this.
Oh my god! This is so much fun! I'm enjoying seeing these walls around in front of you.
Would you like to go for another Viennese waltz in the chemist?
Oh, yes, please!
And then finally, I wanted to ask you just to go on to our theme of this week, which is an unexpected journey. That title for this show came because now we're in a podcast studio
Yes.
and we've got a production in mind. We've gone to venues and things like that. And did you expect that when we go back to Aaron Lee joining the writing program at ARC? Did you expect to be now doing podcasts about your work and potentially putting it on the stage?
No, I wasn't. I was going to space it here in Cairns, but now I want to take True Friends all around Australia.
And knowing you, Aaron, it's going to happen
Yes.
because you're pretty determined
Yes.
and capable.
Yeah.
We're a cool team. He does all the work. You do all the work. Well, no, not all of that. I do a little bit. I drove.
Yep.
I'm asking questions. That's the work.
Yep.
A play and not a film. Why a play and why not a film?
Because when I first started, I wanted to see my play being performed at the Rondo Theatre.
Ah, okay.
I imagine myself sitting in the house and watching my very own show at the Rondo Theatre.
Okay, that's a little theatre in Cairns.
Yes.
That is... do you know how many seats in that?
200, not sure.
Yeah, it's just over 200, I reckon.
Yeah.
And it is in the round.
Yes.
Although it's actually thrust stage because they often don't use that back audience block. It's a lovely little theatre to envisioning
Yes.
your stuff, your work on.
Yes.
Did you envision it at the Tanks? Or was it the Rondo, definitely?
No, the Rondo, and of course, I imagined because Collaborac is coming up, and they've redeveloped the Bulimbajar Art Centre. I wanted to see my play being put on at the Bulimbajar Arts Centre so that I can basically show the people at ARC Disabilities the brand new redeveloped Bulimbajar Art Centre to get them ready for the Collaborac show and show the new redevelopment to get used to the spaces and that.
Yeah, I think that's what people also need to know about you too, Aaron, is actually you're really inclusive. you got a really inclusive philosophy of operation. Like you want as many people as possible involved.
Yes.
Yeah. Giving people opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see that now that it's going to be a theatre piece because, and just tell me if I'm right or wrong, because you've just had so much to do with theatre in the last couple of years.
Yes.
In the number of years.
Yes. I was in Shakespeare, Much Ado About Dragons, 2 Jen of Anne's, and Sonnets and Verse.
Yeah.
And when I was in the play from the Cannes Children's Festival called Beyond the Waves, I got to operate a storm cloud puppet and, of course, operate Monster Maximilian.
And that was last year in the Beyond the Waves, wasn't it? The Children's Festival.
Tanks Art Centre, Tank 5.
So, yeah, you've done a lot of live theatre, and it makes sense that you would visualise this on stage.
Yes.
All right. Going now to the writing side of it. So you've chosen a theatre play.
Yes.
And going to the writing of it, you showed me, like, you did your hands like this, moving really quickly.
When I was on fire.
Yeah. So that on fire business, what does that feel like for you? Can you describe it?
It depends. If you basically have ideas, really good ideas, and you just want to jot them down, that is when you're on fire.
And do you hear voices in your head? Some writers say that they hear the characters' voices in their head.
Yeah, I think so. It all depends. And then
Sheena and Lucy's voices.
Yeah, it all depends.
Could you hear their conversations before you had it?
No, I couldn't. I just...
And how did you come up with scenes?
Ideas and yeah.
Did you ever dream about a scene before you wrote it down?
No, I tried to think and yeah, what the chemist could look like, and yes.
Brainstorm you were describing before as well.
Yes.
Okay, and the last question, I guess, going back to our theme, is what was personally unexpected for you about this journey, I guess, from any part of it, the writing or how people have received it or what we're doing now or where we're going to go or all of it, wherever?
Yes, I'm looking forward to doing this the second creative development and doing a full version and taking this play on tour. I thought I was going to do it in Cairns, but now it's taking me on this journey.
So you never doubted that when you started writing that you would actually see this play on stage?
No, I wasn't. Liana told me that my name wasn't going to be in Lights.
Wasn't going to be in Lights?
No.
She said, okay, just going to be a practice kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. No, your name's going to be in Lights.
Yes.
She did a lot right, but that one she just miscalculated that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's come to the end of our conversation. Was there more that you wanted to say, Aaron?
Yes, I'd like to get Eben involved for the next episode.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
For sure. All right. Well, that's about all we have time for.
Thank you everyone for listening to our podcast.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing to our Patreon to be part of getting this production
onto a stage near you. Why, hello, and welcome to the True Friends Podcast, a behind-the-scenes podcast of True Friends, a play by Aaron Lee. I'm Aaron, and this is my co-producer, and true friend Avril Duck.
And as we go through the process of producing True Friends, we want to give you an insight into the hard work, effort and passion, the real heart and soul behind this new theatre work.
This podcast is going out to our friends, families and supporters, theatre people, people with a disability and just about anyone who wants to hear the best parts of us.
That's Aaron's insatiable curiosity.
And Avril's radical everyone-ism. Hi everybody! This is episode 2! All things tech with Avril and Eben!
Aaron, you got to introduce our lovely Eben Love.
This
here.
is Eben Love, a theatre technician.
And what about your first question? What's that right there? Pretty.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, so my name is Eben Love. I'm a Ngarrindjeri man from the Coorong. Grew up in
Which
theatre.
is South Australia.
South
right?
Australia, yep. Just along the Murray River. I moved up here 2001, always been involved in theatre. My dad was a playwright. Mum's been involved in the arts in every form. Festivals, projects, can't stop listing, but
Yeah, don't.
I won't start listing. But yeah, so then kind of did a bit of theatre through school. Then joined kind of Tropical Arts was my kind of first introduction to theatre, and that was in 2010.
Yeah.
Is kind of when I got involved.
We've got a little,
We've
date
got a
range
little-
back here.
Yeah.
We're just looking at the project dates per year.
Yeah, so
But I mean, how old were you then?
so 2010 I was in grade 10, so
Oh, that's
can't
nice and
maths.
easy
Yeah,
for you,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
that was
Yeah,
quite
okay,
easy.
that's 12
but
years.
yeah, so just at the second half of high school, and I was kind of working more on the little sound desks, the live sound and just general help around, and then just stayed involved. Started working as a tech at a venue in town, Coca, where the Jelly Babies were.
You love those jelly babies, didn't you, Aaron?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone does.
Yeah, I miss them.
Did.
They're over at, I see them all the time at, what are they? Munro Mountain Park.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Did you
Yeah.
know they'd moved over to Munro Mountain Park?
No.
But yeah, so then as a tech, I kind of always, I suppose, mirrored my professional with tropical arts. So every year I would do tropical arts, kind of pushing my skills forward. 2014 was my first kind of big lighting design work with tropical arts, which was 2015, sorry, with Macbeth.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I've kind of been doing lighting design and just general tech advice.
Yeah, so that, I guess, and I'd like to come back to a bit more about how you're connected, particularly with Aaron, because
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment, Tropical Arts, so just so that people get a bit of background, Tropical Arts is a community theatre show, community theatre organisation, association, which I've been artistic director of and a director of since 2008. I've directed all those Shakespeare shows, and that's sort of where I met Aaron and where I've met you and lots of other wonderful people. And so Aaron and I are doing this True Friends project, which is Aaron's play, True Friends. That's
Yes.
written. So could you tell the audience what is your role in True Friends?
So my role in True Friends is the lighting designer. But I'm also going to be helping with my experience with theatre that I've seen throughout my years in the venue. So any advice I have about set, especially around hopefully touring, what I can bring to the table. But yeah, and then just also hanging out with Aaron and just getting involved in any way possible, really.
Yeah, I mean, you're technically you've done a lot with it together. All right.
How did you get involved with True Friends?
Aaron invited me, and I didn't hesitate and said yes straight away. I love working with Aaron, so it was quite a easy decision. So yeah, that's kind of how I got involved. But yeah, it's definitely through Tropical Arts as well.
Yeah, well, you two fellas have worked quite a lot together, haven't you?
Yeah, so we connected again through Tropical Arts. Aaron's operated a couple shows with me. What do you remember the first operation gig you did? It was for 12th Night.
12th Night.
You were
I was acting.
you were acting, so we kind of had a bit of. That's where we first met, I think.
Much Ado About Dragons was, yeah.
You were acting then.
No, I was doing sound, and then I did acting for 12th Night, and then for Shakespeare's Sonnets and Verse, I got to operate the Emma lighting console.
So that's where we really kind of got our solid connection, because we operated shows together, which was really fun.
And that was 2020 as well. So
Yeah.
that was like the year the plague hit us. That was the year of COVID. This was the first year of COVID. So it was a year which a lot of things happened very quickly. But yeah, you picked up. Had you done QLab before that year?
I've only learned how to use QLab from watching YouTube videos.
Oh.
It'll be good if I had my own Macintosh, that way I could learn to use QLab and that.
And so then when we did Hamlet this year, you did not do the lights. Last year, you didn't do the lights at that time.
I did the sound.
Yeah, cool. And so I was kind of more of a stage manager, I suppose, for the giving Aaron the cues to go and whatnot. But yeah, we definitely worked through that and had a lot of fun. Aaron and I in the bio box.
Yes.
I can't go through all the stories, but we definitely had a lot of fun up there.
Yeah, I have been up there. I'll tell you one little. Can I tell a story, Aaron? Since we've got a little bit of just to get a flavour of the bio box, because I only kind of recently joined you guys in the bio box.
Yes.
When we went on tour.
Yes.
So we did Hamlet and the Climate Emergency.
Yep.
In 21, which
Yeah.
was a Tropical Arts production. I directed it, and
Yes.
you guys were in the bio box. You did the lighting design, and Aaron, you were really helpful with me planning and getting us onto the QLab
Yes.
tech stuff.
Yes.
And then anyway, you guys are operating away, and for one particular show, I remember coming on behind the bio box, and I was watching the show, and you guys were intensely focused.
Yes.
Intensely, cue for cue, making sure that everything was perfect. And I was just there as a director and as the most useless person in the show, actually, at the end of the show, as the director, because you got no more job to do. So I was just enjoying myself at a certain point.
Stuffed up.
Yes. No, well, I nearly did. I nearly made you stuff up because what did I do? I laughed
Yeah,
out
but I
loud.
want the cues to be perfect.
That's right. So I was like, ha, ha, ha. And that the guys kind of pulled out of it, and Aaron got... You told me off, didn't
Yeah,
you?
but I want the cue to be perfect.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
are a perfectionist in
Yeah.
that regards.
And the show went on, and we did very well.
That's
Yeah.
right. And then we went to Atherton and
Yes.
to Port Douglas, and they were interesting shows. We actually have talked about the different venues
Oh yeah, cool.
on our last, or on our pilot podcast,
Yes.
I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, can we move back to True Friends? And maybe if you would ask this question.
what thoughts do you have about the production?
Well, my main thought is how excited I am to kind of see the content that you have made. I can only imagine how great it's going to be. I did hear a little bit at the showcase at the ARC,
Yes.
and I was thoroughly impressed. So, my thought is, I think it's going to be, I suppose, a lot deeper than people will think. And I've had a quick flick through the script, and I've seen some pretty cool looking scenes, and I'm quite excited to light them.
Yes.
Because I can see the pictures that you were kind of thinking of when you were writing it, and so a bit of a long thought, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to kind of dig deeper into the script and.
Yeah, well, it's so we go just so that you get a